Day 3. The Rootrees are still dead. They don't really tend to get back up in that state, honestly. Except for all the ones that were alive, which are numerous, honestly, so... somewhat misleading title, if I'm being honest. Oh yeah, it always specifically starts on them every single time. Where it all began. Siblings are in birth order! Doesn't mean like one of the first things you see every time you start the game is birth order! Which is a little bit surreal. Alrighty. We passed the halfway point. We're at 27 out of 33, 27 out of 50, I think is the overall total, right? But also 33 is our current goal. Our current goal. Alright, so I had the plan to Google Miracle Jr. because I haven't done that still. I put it off as long as possible to get as much as I could from each individual thing as we go. Miracle Jr. doesn't go by his full name in promotional materials. Instead, he has shortened it to Miracle Jr. Miracle Jr. is a televangelist who is part of the Miracle Network. He used to have a show that aired on local access across many stations in northeastern United States. I guess I should start a Miracle Jr. page. Keep starting on the wrong page. There we go. Let me get this note. Miracle Network. It is wild that their names are Miracle and then they turn out to be televangelists, or at least some of them are. I take it that Miracle is part of that too. The televangelist, which means I hate him. It's not a Christianity thing, it's just televangelists are like, as far as I can tell, just universally fucked up. It's a really, really fucked up vein of for-profit Christianity on American television that is just deeply corrupted on every possible level, as far as I can tell. According to a website called Clergy Watch, he was exposed and subsequently charged with conspiracy to defraud the public in 1979. When he claimed to heal someone in a wheelchair. A new expose, without the little dash to make it A instead of expose, revealed it was his wife Edith's sister in a disguise. The author also mentions that Edith had a bit of a checkered past herself, but doesn't clarify. He has since lost the television show and instead goes on tour across the southern United States, where he was not well known before the scandal. He was not well known in the southern United States as a televangelist? I don't know if that makes any sense. Alright, well, he's definitely not a doctor. Yeah, preacher, I guess? Because he's no longer on TV, but so he does he's a analog televangelist. Edith Jacobson is the only Edith available. That's probably what his deal is. So yeah, I think I might like Elias more than Miracle Jr. And Miracle is also a preacher, so they're both preachers. We need to find out what his mother and child, Miracle, Roottree Miracle, it's the Roottree Miracle, Miracle Roottree the Third. That's a really confusing name to read when it's then commaed or whatever. I don't know what you call it when you reverse the name to put the last name first, because it's like Miracle Roottree the Third. Like third is with Miracle, but that's not how you pronounce that name. You don't call someone Miracle the Third Roottree. So it's like, wait, God. I've never had to see it written out that way, I think, before. I gotta turn it down. This fucking, every time the saxophone comes on, I'm like, I have left the volume too high. Whatever volume it's on, it's still too high. Turn it down more. It like speech jams me how loud it gets. This is the wrong page. This is not where I want to be. Let's see. Clergy Watch. Defrauded the public. His wife Edith's Now he tours. Probably a little unnecessary to highlight all of this. But I can look into Miracle Network and Clergy Watch. That's probably both worth doing. Also, Edith... I assume her names are Edith Roottree? Nope, it comes up here. Okay. Let's start with Miracle Network. Let's do top to bottom. You find a website for the Miracle Network, a production company run by the Miracle Roottree estate. It's quite bare bones, but has the following blurb. Witness the testimonies of the Miracles Roottree. So, father and son, and maybe other son. Miracle Roottree arrived so... Oh, I got a print. Miracle Roottree arrived so late in his mother's life that doctors swore he wouldn't survive his first year. His mother and father, Elias and Gwyneth, we already knew that, named him Miracle because they thought him impossible. They named him... That seems mean. They didn't think he would survive the first year, so they named him Miracle. But, like, wouldn't they name him Miracle when he was born and not after he survived a year? Like, oh my god, he made it. So they preemptively named him Miracle when he was doomed to die that year. And then he happened to live up to his namesake. Is my interpretation of that. Like, this is a sort of a cruel irony to naming him Miracle when you expect him to die in the next few months. But maybe it's hopeful. I don't know. I don't know what their exact intention was. He was younger than his brother and sisters by over 14 years. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe the miracle was the fact that he was born so late, because like at some point, like it just becomes like increasingly unsafe or even impossible for women to have kids anymore. With a birth that late, the final child's generation was nearly torn apart by countless health problems. But still, with the power of God on his side, he persevered. He triumphed over these complications, and even regained his sight to spread the healing word of the Almighty. Regained his sight. That sounds fake. That sounds like... Does he like put on an act where he pretends to have eyesight? Because he had an eye patch. And then he was wearing full glasses, which kind of, given this line, makes me think that maybe he fully lost his eyesight. So I'm like, did he like start performing on stage as if he had eyesight? To make people think he was cured, because that's the exact type of shit that these frauds do? Or did he take his one eye being blind and start telling the fib that he was just actually blind altogether, and then start telling the fib that he recovered and now he's not blind, when the whole time he just has one bad eye and one good eye? That might have been what he was doing on some level. I don't know. I'm fully and just inherently assuming that they're frauds because they're televangelists, and that's just like what the entire job is. It's just a horrific group of people that take capitalism to its logical conclusion, but with Christianity and lies. And then like 1 second later, we already confirmed that these guys are frauds, exactly as I expected. 23 years later, Miracle Roottree Jr. arrived and became the famous family's second vessel for the higher power. At 18, he unburdened himself from the Roottree name and took his father's testimony to a whole new level. So now he's just Miracle Jr., and that's his whole name. Via the power of television, Miracle Jr. spread the gospel across the entirety of New England. He has since left the life of glamour and glitz behind to reach those places that need it most. The power of the Lord coming to a town near you. Below the blurb is a flyer about the tour, which is in your evidence. Miracle Sr. was born late. Health problems, claimed he overcame blindness. Fraud. Yeah, we can go ahead and take a look at this document I just got. We did it. We filled in the entire grid, which I did. I assume there's still more, but this is how many fit in the screen. Just real estate we've been given, at least. Oop. Oop. Oh, Miracle Third with his wife Nicole. I'll actually read it in a second, but I immediately have a bit of context to go on. He looks so happy. I don't like that picture, actually. Let's go back to him just smiling with his family. I don't like that picture. I have a pretty... Ooh, Nicole Madsner Smith. Let's see. A flyer for the 3 Generations of Miracles tour. The flyer is a few years old. It comes from 1996. The names are Miracle Jr., who is said to be world famous and gets top billing. Miracle Jr. is on the notable Roottree list. Miracle Roottree, whose flyer says he will... who the flyer says will make a special appearance. Miracle Third and his wife Nicole, who are said to be youth pastors. Is that a separate... Oh my god, this music. Let's see. Oh, not here. Is pastor a separate term in this thing? No, so it's just preacher. They're all preachers. Oh. Look at all these faces getting locked in. So I locked in Edith Jacobson, this face for the wife, this alternate face for the artist, or maybe only face for the artist? I don't remember. Alright, so we were right about Gwendolyn Morden, and we got 2 Rootrees locked in, which was pretty easy. On account of they're just on a flyer that explains their generational relationship. Let's see. Yeah, here I was just had to deduce which... Yeah, this is me just deducing which photo was which, and that's pretty clearly Carolyn, so process elimination meant that had to be Gwendolyn, who we don't really know anything about, but she was literally like the last photo in the entire Free Spirit generation-ish. Huh. Yeah, that's... So yeah, they all line up here. This person's still not in here. It's gotta be the guy, a guy? Maybe the only guy remaining? Yeah, it's gotta be you. There's no one left from the Free Spirit generation. I'm pretty sure these both are correct, but we don't know anything about them yet, so they can't be locked in. And everyone else in the photo's taken, so it's gotta be you. Edward Roottree has got a son with a mustache. These two give off the vibe. I thought that these two were these two, which is what threw me off. But yeah, they seem to be like excommunicated, maybe? Someone's up that we'll find out, I assume. And then, yeah, like this guy's born so late that his whole part of the tree is just offset. So they count these two as being in this generation based on how many generations deep, like how many generations deep they are as far as like births go. But age-wise, in the family tree, they kind of line up it with being up here. Actually, that's interesting to think about. Yeah. They're kind of there's kind of just contradictions all around. They fit unevenly into the family tree. So, I basically said it backwards. What I should say is that based on the number of generations deep they line up with the next gen siblings. But based on their approximate age and so on, they end up being categorized among the free spirits. So they're lined up with all the free spirit people in this generation, and they're in that photo together. But they're actually only one generation deeper than Miracle, who was one of the 5, which was disputed by some people based on age. That's they were a direct descendant of them. So like things are just sloppy, things are just messy in the definitions and so on, because a lot of the stuff's just made up when you think about it. Anyway, we know that that's one of your other faces, and I'm allowed to put that in now. It's a bit of a weird quirk, but you can only put in alternate faces once the first person's locked in, which does not apply to the unimportant people, I guess, the spouses. Which we also know, now that you're locked in, I know this is you also. I should have had that in, but I have to remember that I'm allowed to go back once they get locked in. Until then, I can't actually put them in. We don't know what who their parent is still. Okay, let's get back to the thingy. Miracle Third and his wife, Nicole. Which Nicole? Because there's too many Nicoles. Witness the power of the Lord in the summer of '96 3 Generations of Miracles tour, featuring testimony from world-famous Miracle Jr. and a special appearance from Miracle Roottree on his 68th year on God's earth. Children now welcome. Celebrate with your pastor, Miracle Third, and his wife Nicole. What do I take on that? Children now welcome. What was that change, I wonder? I don't know if there's anything else to grasp from this, really. Interesting that I thought the tie was passed down between generations, but they both have it here, and his is backwards. I guess it's a tie, so you can just tie it in different spots and so on. But I interpret this as being his father's tie, but because he's so busy being famous and so on and isn't giving up on his career, he can't pass down the tie to his son, so his son just has like a fake one, basically. Has to feel a little weird. Notable Roottree still has something kind of secrets, it says. I don't know what it means. I don't know how this is quantified. I haven't really been looking into this, thinking about this number too much, necessarily. Because I have my own leads, usually. But these are all crossed out. They're just saying that something, on some level, something about the notable Roottree still has a secret to be gleaned. On one hand, it's a good sign of progress that the number's getting smaller, but on the other hand, it's a little nerve-wracking that I'm like, wait, that's my anchor throughout this entire experience, is being able to hold on to that part and continue forward. So, rapidly losing control of that is a little nerve-wracking, where you're like, how did we fill in the rest once the easy part's kind of gone? I wonder if there's gonna be like a twins thing at some point, like, oh, they switched places or something at some point. Crazy. What's up? 23 years later, Miracle Roottree arrived. We all know this. Yeah, okay. Let's go back to Miracle Jr. We want to look at Clergy Watch. Let's give me some spicy bits. What? Oh, it's a website according to Clergy Watch. So this is the blurb already. They say that they have a checkered past, so we don't use this name, right? Edith Jacobson. You find a link that seems to be a partial and corrupted list of archived articles from the Butler County Times. The article's cut off, but it mentions Edith Jacobson and an arrest. All right. Well, we have the Butler County Times, and if I didn't, I would know its name now. I hope I haven't forgotten. I probably have missed entire periodicals that that were named at some point that I could have added to my list. Just gonna have to go through it again whenever I get stuck. I've had a good streak of always having an idea of where to go next, but I imagine at some point on the way to the finish line, there's going to be an unfortunate chunk of being like, oh fuck, what do I do? There's a crime blotter article about Edith Jacobson that also mentions a Helen Roottree and a Lucinda Jacobson. Alright. Keep track of those names for later. In 1971, when she was 18, Edith and her sister Lucinda were arrested for trespassing at the Miracle Congregation's church in Butler County. They were pretending to be church employees in an attempt to get into a room where the church houses their weekly tithings. The church didn't press charges. They were caught by Helen Roottree, who was there at the time with her husband Miracle. Hey, we finally have Helen's name. Helen Lennon is Miracle Sr.'s wife's name. They were caught by Helen Roottree, who was there at the time, while her husband Miracle was away preaching. Helen Roottree was quoted by saying, "Jesus forgives and so do we. The Lord works in mysterious ways and I am confident he has brought these young women to us for a greater purpose." To marry your son, apparently? Her sister Lucinda. I'm curious. Is that in the list of names? No. There's no Lucinda. So Edith married Miracle Jr. Lucinda does not stay in the picture, seemingly. So basically the story is that she tried to pretend to work there so that she could steal the tithe. Helen Roottree doesn't have her own page in the Butler County Times anywhere. I could check the internet though, so we know her name. No. Helen Lennon. Nope. Okay. So an arrest record gave us a name, at least, so that's something. Miracle Third. Miracle Third brings up nothing. I think that's how you would look him up in this context. I might be dead-ending faster than expected on this particular Google search, which is a little rough. Also, part of my brain does cringe every time I say Google search because I'm like, the fucking genericized term. When these are in Google searches, and like, let's see. Google was founded in 1998. So people were probably not using it, because that's when this is set, isn't it? Yeah. Wait a minute. Hang on a second. What did I just see? Oh, it's September 4th. Okay. So Google has existed for 3 months at time of this recording. Let's see. Not really relevant. Anyway. Rootrees VRR. I don't think I have... I wonder if Rootrees VRR would be in the Butler County Times? No. The Rootrees VRR... I wonder if it's that one of you tried to cut Samantha out of the family, and that led to you guys being excommunicated, but then your children forgiven, maybe? That'd be interesting. But I'm like, what is a periodical that I'm missing, maybe? Business Watch? Starlit, Modern Music Monthly, those don't seem relevant. And Roottree VRR, yeah, it doesn't fit the format for the public library. Even though a public library seems like a place you could potentially look up titles and so on. The ironclad warning of the Clancid Trust. Clancid? It was Clancid. No Sam Roottree. Antha Roottree. We're not gonna get that from the internet. Okay, I need to figure out what to do next. It just straight up says there's no more secrets to find from this. Okay. It says I'm missing something from rolling on down the city? That's interesting. I've seen an MMM. Isn't that the Modern Music Monthly? Yeah. We know about Modern Music Monthly. Let's see. Rolling on Down the City was a barely top 20 hit for a few weeks in 1979, according to liner notes. Satirizes how a part of the society was content to remain indifferent to economic inflation and civil unrest in the Middle East, unless pop culture tricked them into caring. Somewhat ironically, listeners didn't seem to pay attention to the lyrics, blah blah blah. Disco. Because it was a product of its time, it doesn't get much play anymore, even on stations that play oldies. Maybe that's why you've never heard of it before now. The image is from an auction for a sealed copy. It is a sticker that says only the great grandson of Elias Roottree could make disco this sweet. It's credited to Peter Janowicz from MMM. So I could look into that. Just things that he wrote. Peter Janowicz wrote a great many reviews and articles for Modern Music Monthly. You don't see anything relevant to anywhere in the first few pages of results, and there are too many results to look through them all. If you're looking for specific album names or artist names, you may have better luck searching those instead. Fair. Rolling on down the city. It's a single, not a song though. I assume I've been to this page before, yeah. I also already look up a reluctant hitmaker. I guess that's this article is called Reluctant Hitmaker, but Rolling on Down the City comes up in it. I've definitely been here before. Clark never knew his father, so our grandpop insisted he spend time with my dad and me. Grandpop? Isn't that... No, it's just Clancy Edward made these two hang out. What the fuck did Elias do? James, what does your dad do? Let's see. The four of us had this cutesy family band going on at our finest hour. Regardless, when Diamond walked in on Clark in bed with her youngest sister, everything exploded. No more family band. I think I would have been less confused by this stuff if it said that Clark's wife walked in on her with her youngest sister. Granted, then I might wonder if it was Diamond, but it at least would clarify that they broke up. Because at first I thought they're like, Diamond thought it was weird that you were with the sister that you're clearly coupled with in the band. The only thing Clark and I had in common was music, and even then we never agreed on what it should be. He was always more interested in catchy tunes, something you hum a week later. I've been told Roland's like that, but that isn't my goal. When he called me up and said he liked it, I took it as a sign that I was going in the wrong direction musically. That made him laugh. But I'm trying to make art. I don't mind saying any of this because he'd agree. For most of the decade, he was a mess. He's a lot happier now. He started Raffer tunes. He's a much better jingle writer than songwriter. One of the benefits of our family business is a massive company willing to be a client. So he does advertising for the company. That's also how my father was connected to Roottree. Advertising. just like Daddy. Okay, thank God. That might even be the thing that I was missing. Oh my, I need to turn this music down even more. Oh my God. Okay. Chill. Let's see. I just went straight for music. I guess Clark was paying more attention. Okay, so that might be the detail that they're hinting at that I'm still missing about these people. I don't think it'll clarify until it locks in. But I at least found a piece of information they need to figure out. I don't know if these lyrics are going to help me at all. None of it's felt specific and actionable about like the family in any real way. Let's see here. Names. This is where they just complain about how confusing everyone's names are. The biggest complaint I got after publishing my diary was how many similar names there are. And I get it, there are 4 Eli's for Pete's sake. But that's how it is. Someone would say I saw Eli in town, and I wouldn't know which one they meant. My brother, my uncle, my cousin. That's why they became Junior, or Miracles Eli, or Eli C. Uncle Eli Jr., Miracles Eli, or Eli C. I think I know who all these people are. And the 4th Eli is the patriarch. Yeah. Our family's names are always, I think that's literally just because yeah, this is an Eli and he wasn't locked in yet. The hint might just be about Eli also. Which is fair, but I think I have this one already. Then just naming a bunch of people. Gwendolyn got her name as a combination of Gwyneth and Carolyn. Who was Elias's mother? Elias's mother. I think they mean the Elias, like the patriarch Elias's mother was Carolyn, so she's not on the tree. And then they just straight up say, you got my dad's name backwards, which is a way of just straight up telling you what his name is if you haven't found it yet, but I had. Clark. Regardless of reading this back, I get deja vu. As I write this addendum, Clark's gotten married again. No Roottree has ever remarried. Sure, I got lost Jacob, and Gwen divorced Wild Bill just before she had her second. Not even I can blame her for that. Blah blah blah. But we never took a second husband. With the way the world's moving, I guess it was inevitable someone in the family would remarry. I just wish it wasn't my son. I can only wonder if Clark's apparent disrespect for marriage is due to the lack of a real father. I did what I could, and Lord knows Eli C stepped up and helped, more than I can say for Clancy or Edward. Are these people locked in yet? Siblings? Eli C, Edward, Clancy. They're locked in, so that's definitely Eli C. Professor and lawyer, so he just wasn't locked in yet. That might be part of why it's suggesting this page still, because it goes back to Eli C over and over again. Eli C practically raised Clark and Jim as brothers whenever he could. Eli's marriage seemed fine, and Jim's marriage seemed solid as a rock, pun intended. Who knows what caused these things? None of these women are named, though. It's not very feminist of you. I suspect that he's marrying Jane to keep her from running out of the band. Without her, he'd be third wheel, and I imagine they won't last long as a trio. Yeah. What a thing to write. I just uploaded the episode where I first read this, and I think I just titled the episode like, imagine your mom writing this about you. This is a published book about you. Like, it's just insane. Oops. Let's see. This is not implied to have anything to glean from it, which is painful, because I don't know their names. And it's like, well, whatever their names are, wherever it is, the clue isn't here. Fucking good luck. Gwen and the boys. So she sent this, which means this is at the same time as the Free Spirits photo. So this is their age and appearance at the time of this photo. Which does clarify that, yeah, that is two different blonde dudes, which we know at this point, but like, the note does say, missed the reunion, and this is that photo, so they were specifically not there in this photo. Who are you? I think I still know nothing about her. Like at all? Someone was born of Jane LaRue. Yeah, we put Chris Rafferty here because it's the only remaining Rafferty name. We don't know who that is. She definitely seems to be mixed race, but that's not helpful so far in that everyone's white as fuck in these pictures. So, I accidentally dragged something on my OBS. Let's put it back. Okay. Every now and then I'll swipe my freaking mouse around and I'll actually click on the other screen. So he's likely mixed race going by looks, but whoever would help indicate that who that is, or how that happened, is somebody that's probably not even pictured. One of these spouses, and being intentionally vague because I'm like, we can't even assume gender on spouse. Genuinely just don't know where this fits in or where it happens. I wonder. It wouldn't be here because they're the same generation, so it's not one of these two. It could be Elias's daughter, but we really have nothing to go on. I'm getting a little scared right now. This is the first episode of a new session, and then I'm like, wait. What threads am I going to tug on here to make progress? I think I can look past these names for now and just assume they're all about Elias. This particular clue system is it's a bit of a lifeline right now for being able to try to pursue what to even look at. Clearly I did not know our true family history when I wrote this. This is about Sam. Didn't even know Sam was a Roottree. All my doubts were ill-founded. She's a fine woman. She had the chance to grow up with us. Sam might have been the sister Gwen never was. Did we lock in Sam's... Okay, farmer did lock in. So she does count as a farmer, and her husband is Ernest, both maybe even literally, but by name at least, and that is a very farmer name. He has two kids, Gwyneth Madsen and Ernest Jr. Madsen. Don't know which order they go in, though. We just know they have glasses. Let's see. Ernie and the kids are lucky to have her, and her children seem eager to help the family in their own ways. Ernie Jr. has been learning the day-to-day from Zach. It has been a long, long time since any real Roottree was as excited and interested in actual candy as Ernie. Did he become a president? As a bonus, Gwyneth has the green thumb from her mother and her adopted grandfather. I think I'm gonna start having to make some leaps here. So I think I have to say she's a farmer. I think that... So learning the day-to-day from Zach? I might have to say that he's the third president. That's weird. President, third. 3 brings it up. R brings it up. 3RD goes away. That's weird. That's a weird searching system. We don't know what order they're in, though. We don't know which one's older. Can I have some indication of which one's older before I start just fucking swapping them back and forth, hoping to trigger something? Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. What's an adopted grandfather in this context? Elias? No. Oh, EC or CE or whatever his name is, the gay guy, right? Yeah, because you were abandoned by Elias, so Samantha was adopted by a gay couple, basically, that were also farmers. So that really indicates that Gwyneth is a farmer, as best as I can get, because at this point I think I need to start taking leaps on some of these things and not wait for as much confirmation, because I think we're dealing with a bunch of family members that are like scantily mentioned at all, and they're not on the internet, and so we have to really hope these clues really mean something, because this isn't a game. This is a game where things are written on purpose. It's fiction, which is a bit different than real life. I make the mistake of applying real life logic sometimes, where in real life, just because someone hints something like that doesn't mean that's going to be their defining trait for their whole life. Fucking speaking as somebody who has gotten a Doctor Who Christmas gift every year for the last like decade from certain family members, and I have not been a huge fan of the show for a while because of it being kind of bad for like most of the last decade, actually. You get summarized by family members in inaccurate ways, and these are often other people's perspectives about individuals and so on. So in real life, that would not mean that like, green thumb like your father, or like your mother and your grandfather. That means you're going to be a farmer. It's like, that's exactly the kind of nonsense that your grandparents would say about you. That's like a weird mischaracterization of you, but it's like the version of you. It's like the one thing they've like latched onto. But in a game like this about deducing what the fuck is that going on with a bunch of people that might be mentioned once in a scant document, it probably actually is meant to be stuff that you try to lock in. What I'm most ashamed of is not figuring it all out myself. Sam's a spitting image of Patsy, with her jet black hair and green eyes. Patsy's unpictured, so that's not very helpful. She doesn't have the thick glasses Patsy did, of course. I guess that skips a generation. Her children have that covered. We know that part. It's hard to explain the look on Pop's face when they read that the farm's operation would pass to Samantha Roottree for as long as she was willing. I got flashbacks to when Zach was made president. Mother reframed it a bit to calm him down. Sam wouldn't receive any candy money, after all, and was essentially inheriting the right to rule over the peasants for eternity. Pop warned us away from that farm for years. I never met EC in person, but Pop once referred to him as a confirmed bachelor, and I suspect that's why he kept us from there. Sam had to grow up in a house with him and his roommate, Mr. Miller. I'm not sure Sam will ever forgive Uncle Junior. Uncle Junior's a wild name. Or Patsy for abandoning her in that life. That life. If I were her, I might never forgive them either. But even so, she seems to blame more than just the two of them. She has no problems with us next gens, but she has a palpable hatred for the Five Pieces and Elias and Gwyneth. Okay. What are the two clues here? It must just be about these two family members. Ernest Madsen. Fortunately, I don't think this will work. Maybe in the local news? I'm actually not 100% sure if Butler County is even... Oh yeah, where the candy company is located. Okay, they're local. Let's see. Nothing relevant to your search for the Roottree I misspelled it. What? It's called the Roottree Candy Company, isn't it? That seems nonsensical. Yeah, what's the exact name? Yeah, the Roottree Candy Company with a the. That's probably not relevant. That is maybe a flaw in the game. That's maybe an oversight, if you know what I mean. Whether or not there's a clue that's relevant or whatever, I guess that's their, hey, they cover their ass a little bit. Nothing relevant to your investigation was found. But you're telling me, because like the way it feels is that it feels like there's literally no search results for the Roottree Candy Company in the Butler County Times, which is where literally is summarized as being the newspaper where the candy company is located. Like, frankly, there should be something relevant to the investigation, if we're being honest. Like, it should just say something, because there should just be some kind of article about the company somewhere, which should mention someone working there or being the president of the company. Like, this should reveal one of the presidents at some point in history or something, or even the founding of the company or something. That's just weird. That's really weird that the newspaper defined as being where the company is doesn't have a single article for me to give me. Like, of course you would search this at some point. Oh well. I gotta get my shit together. I'm having trouble here. I'm having trouble figuring out what thread to pull on next. We have dried up the searchable internet, people, and I have technically not fully exhausted it. Oh wow, Life Between Wars literally has no clues left. I guess I did exhaust that one, but I only have a handful of things to get from the Revisiting the Diary. We got a lot of mileage out of that diary, but from here on out, the game's gonna get a lot harder, I think. Oh shit.